Hello there, team. I've got a question for you. What do Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Karim Benzema, and Asamoah Gyan all have in common? They are all prolific finishers. And as they finish off the plays their teams create with goals, so too must you strike to finish the goals of your creative projects. So today, we're going to talk about finishing what you started and getting creative projects done. Let's talk about it. Tell me, has this ever happened to you? You know what? I'm not going to finish this project. I'm going to add it to the ever-growing list of stuff that I've started but haven't finished. And I'm going to start something new because I cannot be bothered to finish this one. The next one, that'll be it. Guys, come on. Everything that has a beginning also has an end. And when it comes to your creative endeavors, it is no different. As creatives, we are sometimes inundated by ideas and starts and concepts, but the finishing rating is like level 3. It's easy to start a project. You have a twinkling of inspiration, it fuels your creative fire, but at some point you lose the plot. You don't know exactly where the project is going anymore, and you kind of fall out of love with it, especially when something new comes along. Guys, this is bad. Once we get into the habit of not finishing what we started, it's hard to break, and it can really be disheartening. At least it is to me. See, I believe that there is a creative process. Everyone has a different process, but it basically works like this. There's a beginning, idea synthesis and planning, a middle, doing the damn thing, and the end, editing. Then there's a final aspect of the process, one that is dreaded by many artists, finishing the project and allowing it into the world for people to see. It's not easy, I know. You have spent many weeks, months, years working on a creative project only for some idiot online to say, oh, it's meh. It's no easy, but I'll talk about handling criticism in another video. The final part of the creative process is the most integral part because it's what puts your artwork into the world for people to see. You could have the best, let's say, song ever made, but if it's sitting on a folder marked unfinished, unmixed, and unmastered, who cares? The world is lesser for it. What if James Cameron had never finished Avatar? What if Chinua Achebe had never finished Things Fall Apart? What if Rima had never finished and released the classic song Bound? The world would have never known that he loves the way the booty bounds and that you can rhyme booty with booty 6 or 7 times. Art elevates life. It's sad that we live in a world where art has now become super commoditized. I hate that word content in reference to films or music or pictures or whatever. It's so degrading. Anyway, it's important to finish what you started in life and in art. So how do you avoid getting stuck in an endless cycle of finishing off projects? Well, as I mentioned earlier, we all have a process. A creative process is a structure by which we use to create. Every artist has one, whether they know or they don't know, they have one. So it helps to figure out what yours is. I can bring you in on mine. I believe structure is very important. It's a good place to start in order to finish your project. There's a saying in Twi, Agro beso a afri anapa, which means if the festival will be entertaining, it starts from the morning. This basically means that if something is going to be good or successful, you can tell from the beginning. So whenever I have a creative project, I start with inspiration, obviously, but then I move directly to structure. For these YouTube videos, once I figured out what I wanted the channel to be about, I went about deciding my structure. So I said I would do some researching of the topics first, then I would write the scripts. And the scripts would either be ideas from personal life and experience, or they would be fully researched. Then I would review the scripts after I've written them. I would write 3 at a time. Once I was done reviewing them, I would record them. Then I would review and edit the recording. Then I would edit the video along with the audio, and then I would review it again. Then I would wait a few days and I would review the whole thing again, then send it out to some friends for further review. And then after all of that, then I'll post them. So this is my structure. Having a structure makes it super easy to finish because you know where you're going. It's like a map. Say I don't have a structure. If I got stuck, then I am now trying to figure out if I should do the video first or the audio, or I shouldn't write, I should just talk. It makes things confusing. Once you have an idea of what you are going to do, figure out how you are going to do it from start to finish. It reduces anxiety and gives you a picture of what success looks like at the end. And it works. To add to this part about structuring your projects, celebrate the little victory. For instance, at every interval in my process, I take some time to be grateful for how far I've gotten. I will write a script, review it, and say, wow, I did that. I'll pat myself on the back or take a small break before attempting the next stage of the process. Celebrating your small victories gives you motivation to carry on into the next stage. In the beginning of a creative project, you need all the motivation you can get. Let's say you're writing a book instead of a YouTube video. If you waited till you were done to celebrate, you would lose incentive about midway, maybe even before that. But if you said, after each chapter I write, I will eat a chocolate, and then when I'm done with the whole section, I will buy myself a piece of cake, or go to a fancy restaurant, or buy myself some papaye, it helps to incentivize you to get stuff done. Celebrate your victories with your friends. Have small things you do for yourself when you're working on your project. And for the longer ones, have something big that you do. And big doesn't mean a party or something like that. It could be just a long hug from a good friend, or calling up a loved one to tell them you are done and having them tell you how proud they are of you. Or maybe it's a nice solitary day, a long hike, a hot bath. Whatever it is, make it personal, make it fun, make it you. I wonder sometimes why people fail to complete projects. I mean, there could be many reasons. Maybe they aren't confident in their work. Makes sense. Maybe they are perfectionists and the project isn't as good as they thought it would be. Maybe it is, but perfectionists need things to be a certain way, the way they see it, or it's not good enough. It is a process though, so cut yourself some slack, yeah? However, I think the main reason why people don't finish projects, apart from not having a plan, is that they don't have a purpose. When you lack a well-defined purpose, your art, though good, can seem directionless. You can seem directionless. It is much easier not to finish a project if you don't know what you're doing and what you're saying, or why you're doing it and why you're saying that. What is the ends? Money? Sure, that's a good motivator and it works. We need money to eat and buy the new iPhone 32, but I don't think this is the best bet sense for purpose. A purpose should be something beyond yourself. Why do you create art? Is it because it is bursting out of you and you just need to get it out? Sure, cool. Or are you creating art as a means of therapy? Amazing, get it done. Or are you trying to change the world, or at least your immediate environment? As I said before, art can elevate the world. One amazing picture, one good book, an amazing film, it can change someone's life forever. It can make someone see the error of their ways. It can comfort someone when they are low. It can inspire someone to do more, to be a better version of themselves. Having a purpose is essential to any creative. Whatever your purpose may be, make sure it's personal, as in it has meaning to you. Considering all that I've said, and I fully stand behind it, there are times when you can't finish a project, and those are the times when you have to let go. Sometimes a project can take more from you than you're willing to give. It really sucks, I know. All of us artists or creatives have projects we simply couldn't finish. Maybe we ran out of steam. Maybe the idea wasn't good enough. Maybe we didn't have the support we needed, or maybe it wasn't the right project for us. Whatever it is, a key skill to any artist is knowing which ideas you need to cut off before they consume you. And yes, I know I said we gotta get into the habit of finishing projects, and we do, but there are a few projects that are so emotionally and so energetically and so financially draining that we have to say no and move on. This is where self-trust and self-awareness comes into play. Sometimes it's not even that you completely let the project go. Sometimes you just need to take a break from this specific project. You come back to it with fresh eyes. I felt that about a script that I wrote last year. It didn't feel quite complete. After about a few months of letting it go and allowing the answers to come to me, I realized that maybe it would work better as a novel. So I'm working on that, and since I have a script, I already have a blueprint. I would encourage you to cultivate a strong sense of self-belief. You can do this. A big creative project can seem daunting, like an album or a collection of photographs or a huge canvas painting or a film. Whatever it is, you start from the beginning. Break it down, have a plan, and believe that you can finish your project. After all, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Thanks for watching my video. I really hope that you're taking something positive and constructive from it. I believe that you can get your projects done. Let me know what you're working on in the comments. Anyway, like and subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll catch you in the next one.